Nope.
All right, then.
You won't be again.
23 minutes past 7. The market for e-cigarettes is estimated to be worth more than £90 million a year, but experts are still deeply divided over their safety.
Last month, the World Health Organization called for a ban on their use indoors because of concerns about public health. Research out today, though, shows the vast majority of young people have no intention of using an e-cigarette.
Well, Breakfast Tim Muffet has been taking a look at both sides of the e-cigarette debate.
The arguments swirl. Electronic cigarettes, a safe alternative to conventional smoking or a means of luring people into a nicotine habit? Either way, the heating of liquid nicotine into a vapour which is then inhaled, or vaping as it's known, has boomed. 10 years ago, the e-cigarette industry didn't exist. Today, it's a global business said to be worth £1.8 billion a year. Vaping bars like this one in London have sprung up. The number of e-cigarette users in the UK has tripled over 2 years to more than 2 million. Although they produce mainly water vapour rather than smoke, the World Health Organization and the British Medical Association both want e-cigarettes banned from public places.
Our concern with the use of e-cigarettes is that this normalises that behaviour again, and of biggest concern is that it becomes glamorous again.
Many pubs, train companies and offices have introduced bans, but others argue that without the tar and tobacco found in traditional cigarettes, nicotine inhaled via an e-cigarette poses minimal risk.
If nicotine is taken without the accompanying toxicants, then the health effects would be very similar to drinking coffee.
Growing popularity, divided opinions. Consensus on e-cigarettes is proving elusive. Tim Muffet, BBC News.
Well, with us now, Deborah Arnott from the anti-tobacco charity ASH, who's involved in today's research, and Robin Ireland from the Heart of Mersey charity. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Well, what we've discovered is that more young people know about e-cigarettes, but fewer of them are thinking of taking it up. So that's pretty good news, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Our survey, which was funded by the British Heart Foundation and Cancer Research UK and is being launched at the Public Health England conference today, shows the vast majority of young people haven't tried electronic cigarettes, have no intention of trying them. And while experimentation has gone up a bit, very few young people who experiment go on to become regular users, and those who do are already smoking. And I think that's the key thing, because we know that of the young people who try smoking, 4 out of 10 go on to become regular smokers, and it's smoking that kills you, not electronic cigarettes. 100,000 people die every year in the United Kingdom from smoking.
So, it's a good thing then, is it?
I'm less relaxed than Deborah about the data. I mean, I quite agree with her overall conclusion. Obviously delighted that young people are smoking less. I think what some people in public health are concerned about, though, is the numbers of young people now being able to access electronic cigarettes. And as we see the marketing of electronic cigarettes, it's clearly aimed at a young market, and that's the tactic that's always been in the tobacco industry. So we are very, very concerned that electronic cigarettes may prove, and it's still early days, isn't it, may prove to be a gateway to tobacco cigarettes.
You can have all the marketing you like, but it doesn't necessarily work.
And we're not complacent. That's why we've done our research, and that's why we'll be redoing the survey next year. And we support, as does Public Health England, an age of sale of 18, so children can't buy them, and cracking down on marketing, because I agree with Robin, some of the marketing is terrible, particularly by some of the tobacco companies who bought up electronic cigarette companies and make these products look glamorous and use the same sort of advertising tactics that we use with cigarettes, which risks promoting smoking to young people. So I completely agree with that. But actually, the products that are increasingly popular with smokers, and I've got one here, this doesn't look like a cigarette. It doesn't smell like a cigarette. It doesn't, give off the same sort of toxic substances. So why would it be a gateway into smoking? And it doesn't appear to be a gateway into smoking because, as Robin points out, the number of young people smoking is going down, not up.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, to be talking about it in that kind of way, because whatever you say about the marketing, it doesn't in some way seem to be working if they're not actually taking it.
It's very, very early days. We don't know yet. And
so
I think
when do you think
that's
when
really
will we know?
What the WHO is saying is have caution. That's what the BMA is saying, have caution. One thing I would say is, although figures are low, we must remember that percentages across populations are huge. There are 5 million young people aged between 11 and 18, so 1% of 5 million is huge. And we now find from the data that Deborah's talking talking about today, we've moved from 6% of young people with intent to vape in 2013 to 9% in 2015.
But that's not right. That's not
right.
right, Robin, because the figures
That's your
include...
data.
No,
That's your
the figures we are presenting show that over 90% have no intention to vape. You're assuming that the rest do. Well, they don't,
All right.
because the vast majority of them are saying, don't know, can't say.
We will have to leave it there, I'm afraid, but thank you both very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.